Hey guys, it's your girl Tower Crush back with another review, and this time it is for Sistas on BET. Sistas on BET. Sistas on BET. We're getting back to season 1 drama. I loved it. I loved it. These girls are going and they're going up quick. They're growing up quick. They're growing up quick. Oh, okay, so. Okay, this was one of my favorite episodes. I had to put Sheila on because I really like this episode. Did y'all like this episode? I did. Okay, before I get started, let me ask you to please hit my subscribe button. If you don't want to hit it, that's fine. Thank you for being here and watching. I appreciate you. I need you. I appreciate you. We never part, baby. Okay, so this episode started out in Karen's office. She's talking to Preacher Man about, the baby, and he's asking some very vital questions. I was very proud of Preacher Man, Aaron. He's like, are you sure it's not my baby? And she was like, yes, I'm sure it's not yours. This baby is not yours. Girl, you don't know. You don't want it to be his. Like he said, you want it to be Zach's because you're not done with Zach. You think you're slick. Gonna tell the Preacher Man you need some space. So this is what I think you think is getting ready to happen. And y'all can correct me if y'all feel like I'm wrong. Because this is some real bitter baby mama stuff happening here. Let me go on and break up with my very good to me boyfriend. I'm gonna break up with him because I don't need him anymore. Because I've got a plan. I've got this baby in my belly. It's growing by the week. No, I don't need to go to the doctor. I know whose child it is. Oh, so what? We were together for 3 years and I never got pregnant, but no, I am. I'm pregnant and it's his. So what? I only had sex with the preacher one time. Surely he isn't that potent to be able to get me pregnant the first time when Zach, it took him 3 years. Girl, boo, that's the preacher's baby. That ain't none of Zach's baby. You want it to be Zach's baby. You don't want to let go of that. So you feel if you can get the preacher to leave you alone and you can call yourself single, you can then leave yourself open for Zach to come running home to you. Is that what you think? But baby, you toxic. Karen, you are a toxic individual. Toxic is your middle name. That's why you had to sit there and say all that to Preacher Man. And then you confused, baby girl. 1 minute you tell this man you want to be single. The next minute you tell this man you want him to be there for you. And the next minute you tell him you need space. Look, now I'm confused. This is all in the same doggone conversation. And if you don't know what you want, say that. Say, I don't know what I want, Preacher Man. I don't know what I want. I just know right now, I know I want my ex, and I don't know who my baby daddy is. I think I want it to be my ex's baby. That way I have a reason to stay in his life. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like your baby, then I might as well just get married to you and just have this boring marriage because sex with you is boring. She should just tell him that. She should tell Aaron that she does not enjoy his sex because they only had sex one time to my count. And clearly she's not trying to have sex with him again. And she don't want this baby to be his. So maybe he was a winky man. A twinky man. Maybe, I don't know, because I don't, but we know that she had some fiery sex with Zach, because we already know what Zach's putting down. No, don't do me like that. Do me like this. We know Zach's putting it down. So yeah, I'd miss that too. But you would think Zach would break her in 15s. She's a very skinny girl. She's a very, very, very skinny girl. I mean, I feel like I can take my hands and wrap them around her waist and connect my middle fingers and my thumbs. I feel like she this big around by her waist, like all her intestines and everything fit in this little circle. All of it. She's teeny weeny beanie. But hey, I used to be thin as well, so people used to look at me the same way, so I get it. And I need to stop that because that's body shaming. I apologize to anybody that is super thin out there. It took me, I don't know, it was probably 42, 43 before I started gaining weight. but I was very thin as well. I'm 5'9", and I was like 135 soaking wet. And so that's very thin for a black woman to be 5'9". So I am right at 200. So to make up for me body shaming y'all, I'm going to tell y'all my weight. I'm right at 200. I could be anywhere from 196 to 200 even. So that's where my weight is. So there. It doesn't mean that much to me. That's why I, got to clear it up. But I do understand, because I did used to cry when people would say stuff about me and my little bitty size, because I couldn't help it. And then one day I just got an appetite. And I couldn't stop eating, baby. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. If you look at some of my older videos, my comedy videos, you'll see that I have some, I have some comedy videos on this page. And you can just put comedy in the search menu and stuff is going to come up and you'll see how thin I was. Very thin. But anyway, moving right along. Karen and her non-childbearing hips. I don't know how they're going to come about, but she is definitely holding on to her story that she's pregnant, and I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to say, yes, she's pregnant. I just don't think it's X, baby, because she's so sure. And they was like back to back. You don't know. How you going to say you know? Like, you ain't never been pregnant before, Karen. How you going to say you know? Like, you know what it feel like to carry Zach's baby. You don't know. You don't know. So, it was just altogether weird. I did find it quite funny. Pam trying to juice Preston for information. She's like, but you're not telling me nothing. I'm like, duh. Everybody knows you're meddlesome, Pam. But Pam is really, really becoming one of my faves. It used to be Maurice. He's definitely gotten away from that as far as I'm concerned. I can't have you as my fave if you're always being nasty to everybody. Like, are you that mad that you don't have Q's peen anymore? Is that what it is? Because it seems like ever since the whole Q situation, you have just been nasty to people and you just don't care. And that's very unbecoming. I'm definitely happy we only had one scene with him and Calvinia, and that was a useless scene. Didn't get anywhere. I think it was supposed to be there for humorous purposes. Like, we were supposed to laugh at the scene, but I didn't find it cute, and I still don't understand why this man insists on having one side tucked in, one side tucked in. Even when he's sitting down, you can see it. You see it. You see it. I don't know what the obsession is. I just don't know. His stylist needs to be fired, though. If anybody at the studios sees this video, fire Calvinia stylist. It's over. I'm sick of him. Sick of it. So that was a useless scene. Then we have Andy. She's just, I guess, going around just pulling everybody together. She's just pulling them all together. And when Karen calls Andy and asked her to invite Fatima, Andy's antenna immediately went up like, why am I inviting Fatima? Because this concerns her too. Please just invite her, Andy. I want her to be there. I need to talk to her. You need to ask her. No, and I mean it. When I hang up, call her. Girl. What you think you about to do is not about to happen, honey. Because what you not finna do is tell Fatima anything about her man. Because trust and believe, she already know, because that's the type of relationship that they have. Now see, what it is Karen sitting there thinking, well, how come they ain't broke up yet? Well, did he not tell her that I'm pregnant? Did he not tell her that I'm having his baby? Why haven't they broken up? But you got to understand, Karen, is that Fatima's not toxic. Fatima understands what a monogamous relationship is, and she also understands what it is to just be hooking up with somebody. And that's what they was doing at the time of conception. So she's not going to be mad at Zach over him getting you pregnant. She decided to continue to mess with him after, she knew he had sex with you, which shouldn't have even happened, because he crawled out of her bed to crawl you up the wall. And that was just wrong. It was wrong on Zach's part. But, we even got past that, and I almost got mad all over again over how he did my girl Fatima. He didn't have to do her like that. So, moving right along. So, I don't know what Karen thinks she's about to do, but it's just not going to work. And Fatima's probably going to read her the riot act. Like, how do you know? You don't know whose baby it is because she doesn't. But then again, maybe Fatima keeps her cool and keeps it classy and doesn't say anything at all to Karen. Because Karen is, that is just not sitting well with me. I just cannot wait till next week. I'm just so happy and pleased with this episode because to me, this episode signifies season 1 as far as the writing, the interest levels, the moving along of the storyline. I like it. I like it a lot. We're going to go ahead and talk about Dani and Preston because we did find out that Preston did want Karen to call Dani, but she didn't do it. So he called her himself. She told him she was on her way on a date, which we all know was a lie. She told the police officer no, and she told Fuego to go on and catch his flight because she wasn't trying to see him. And, you know, they both agreed that she'd be dodging them both, which does not make me happy because I don't want to see her with Preston. He said it better than I could when he said that they don't have a lot in common. And I just feel like he's always going to be looking for something else. And I feel like she's always going to be looking to be fulfilled and validated. And I don't know that he always hears her in their arguments. And everybody was pretty much cheering Preston on in the way he talked to her that last week. And I'm like, no, he don't need to be cheered on. He didn't do nothing right. Everything she said to him, he deserved to have said, and he needed to hear. And I know a lot of y'all thought that they had hashed a lot of things out. They really didn't. She sugarcoated a lot of stuff to step up, you know, to tiptoe around him. And so I felt like she finally got it out, and I'm hoping that she's getting past him because I just don't feel like their relationship is going to work. Too much has happened. Like she told him, didn't you go on your date? Let me go on mine. She ain't going on no date. She just going over Karen's house, but that's none of his business. He needs to believe that she's going on the date. That's what he needs to believe. But I don't need her, you know, acting the way she acted in this episode and then turning around and being real apologetic, you know, in the next episode, begging him to come back. That's what I don't need to see. If I see that flip-floppy stuff, me and you going to fall out, Tyler, for real, for real. Because you got back on the right track, doggone it. You done got back on the right track. Now, I want to talk about Zach and Gary and the new, I guess, the little guy that's going to help Zach with his winnings, his earnings from the stock market. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. If y'all remember season 1, Gary got, he was pretty much federally prosecuted, wasn't he, because of money laundering. He was, money embezzlement in his business. So why would Zach use Gary for anything when Gary's stuff was seized? Y'all remember they seized Andy's apartment. She couldn't even get into any of her stuff. They seized all of her bank accounts, all of that. So why would you even think about dealing with Gary's company? Like, she needed to hurry and sell that stuff before we found out what really happened. Like, what little old lady did you steal that money from, Gary? Seriously, like, you need to hurry up and sell that stuff if you're going to sell it, girl. Get your money before it can come back and bite you. Be like, you know, I gave that stuff away to the homeless. I gave it away to the homeless. Because I didn't need it, didn't want it, didn't pay for it. And I thought it was cute how when the scene opened up with Andy in her office with her feet up and her Louboutin red bottom showing, I was thinking, yeah, they probably said don't get these shoes dirty. Because, you know, that Louboutin paint will rub right off. They said, don't get these shoes dirty, honey. If you scuff them, you bought them. If you scuff them, go on tuck them because you done bought them, baby. You know, so I thought that was cute. But she was definitely fly. But sell it all. Sell all that. The shoes, the bags, the car, all of it. But it looks like going into next week's episode, we see that Gary, what did he do? Buy her condo and put her somewhere else? And they all gonna be in there like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Oh my God, he is so crazy. Like, how dare you move all of my stuff? Like, dude, I'm gonna have you locked up, bro. You keep on invading my privacy, I'm gonna have you arrested. And like, I just can't wait to hear what story they concoct as to how he got access to all of her things like that. That's just stupid. And she's stupid for letting it happen. And I'm over it. I'm just over Gary. I'm sick of seeing him. I just don't need to see him no more. Move them along. Because that's how I feel. And I think that's just about everything that I wanted to discuss. Okay, so we see Calvinia. It's not talking about much of nothing. Don't really want to tell Lawrence about, him getting beat up at the restaurant. And at least, Sabrina didn't throw it in his face to dude own the restaurant. That was a good thing. We saw Dani have conversation with Preston face-to-face and over the phone. She held her own. I don't think Preston was expecting that. I don't know what he thought was about to happen, but she definitely put him out so she can go on her date with the girls. She just didn't tell him who the date was with. And I like that. But that just makes me feel like she's just making him feel it, but she's going to wind up taking him back. And I don't want that. I just need him to move on with Tanya and her to move on and find and allow somebody else into her life because he ain't it. And then Andy, we see Gary's still crazy. He done did something with her furniture or whatever. But she's gangster for almost not inviting Fatima to the little get together they can't Karen wants to have. We all know Karen just broke up with Aaron, wants her space. And she wants him to be there for her, but she also wants to be single. So, yeah, she's very confused still because she's toxic, and that's what toxic people do. They say stupid stuff like, girl, we ain't together, but you my boo. We just can't, you can't stay tonight. Never again, but, you my boo. But, yeah, I need my space. And I don't know what I would do without you. What I'm saying, going over your mama's house every night because I ain't trying to be with you. I just, like to hit it every now and then. But you got to leave. You can't stay overnight because that's when you be catching feelings. And, I got feelings too. They just ain't for you. But I don't need you to leave me. What in the contradictions, cousin, do we have here? I was confused. I was like, Karen, you don't know what to say to this man. Just say, go on now, and I'm going to see if Zach come back. Trying to set a trap, see if Zach come back. That's what Karen's doing. She's trying to set a trap, and she thinks she's going to put Fatima in her feelings. And Fatima's about to read her like a book, and I'm going to love every minute of it, and it's going to make some people mad because they are Karen fans, and I am a Fatima fan, and I feel like Zach is at his best when he's with Fatima. He might have more love for Karen because they have the history, but he knows he's at his best, and he cannot prosper without Fatima because he had lived all them years of his life not prospering until Fatima came along, and now look at him, flourishing. I wouldn't want to go back to the bicycle and get talked down to either. So Karen has to remember why Zach doesn't want anything to do with her. I think she's very oblivious to that. She feels like it should just, the cycle should continue. And kudos to Zach for breaking the cycle. For resisting temptation and saying, you know what? Yeah, I do love you, but I can't be with you because this is not healthy for either one of us. But, she can't see past, her pregnancy test. And we're going to see if she's really pregnant or if she's really just, stalling us out. Because I still say it wasn't no real test. She went and got back about that. She went somewhere and had somebody pee on that stick. Because what took her so long? And why she had to go out when Pam said that they already had tests? If that don't mean nothing, I'm going to be real mad. Like, what was that statement for? All them tests we got back there. That's what Pam said. I'm like, Pam, girl, you run your mouth too much. But yeah, I just want to know what that means. And that's the last thing that I'm really holding on to because she's really not drinking. She's really playing the role of a person that's pregnant. And maybe she wants to be pregnant. She's telling herself she's pregnant, but she's not really pregnant. And that's, I've heard of that happening as well. People think it so long that they actually start to believe it. So we just have to see. But this video ran over too long. I'm going to have to cut some of this out because it's just too much. So my apologies for that. Again, if you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button. We still need about 375-ish subscribers. I do want to give this money away. I don't know why y'all playing with it. I guess y'all need the money. I guess y'all don't need any designer handbags, Telfar. And I guess you don't care what I'm going to throw into the pot outside of that. Because I ain't going to tell you until we get to 800 subscribers. So let's get it going. And I'll throw something nice into the pot, okay? So, again, I do thank you all for watching. That is my $5.02. Peace.